My greatest asset, to be honest, is that I'm a woman. I mean, many women that come from our part of the world think that it's a disadvantage. I've always thought that being a woman is my greatest asset. I mean, I really can get away with doing a lot of things in Pakistan, getting into places and getting out because I'm a woman.
But you don't play that card, do you?
Of course I play the woman
you
card.
do?
Hell yes!
I wanted to hear
I
that.
mean, you're a South Asian woman. You've got
Of
to play
course.
the woman card. There's a long line of men
Drag.
standing. Stand
That's-
to the front of the line. How can I stand if there's 100 people standing in line? No. When you can play the woman card,
You will.
you play the woman card, the damsel in distress. I mean, don't I look like a damsel in distress?
The fact that you say that sometimes that you use that card is immensely interesting for me to hear because very few women admit to that.
Well, the thing is that you've got to play all sides. If I need to stand up and face a man and look at him in the eyes and scare him off a little bit, I do scare Pakistani men off a little bit. That I do, and I enjoy that power.
You like being intimidated?
I enjoy that power that I can scare him, and he kind of takes a back step and then looks away. And then if I need to be a woman and be the damsel in distress, then I will be the woman and be the damsel in distress because we live in countries where you can do both. And I like that. I like the fact that somebody else is going to stand in line and let me cut in and say, please. I like that. Why not?
Because it's immoral, selfish, and rude. Now, you probably know what is happening here, that this is the woman who has been chosen to direct the next Star Wars movie, because it's been all over the internet. So if you haven't seen that, buckle up. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and supporting my channel. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube does unsubscribe people every single day. You can find me on Rumble, on X, and on BitChute. Now, what are we talking about today here? Well, we're going to be talking about this new Star Wars movie that's supposed to be coming out starring Rey. Rey being the most important character in the Star Wars universe, according to Disney. Now, I have never seen The Rise of Skywalker. I heard it was terrible. I heard that Rey is actually Palpatine. Palpatine is actually Rey. Rey is actually Luke Skywalker and Palpatine and Darth Vader, and everybody's everybody all at the same time. Like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. I think they're trying to get as much mileage out of the "No, I am your father" line from The Empire Strikes Back that they can. And I'm like, that's not... That was good one time. You don't want to keep doing that. So stupid. Now, if you are not watching Star Wars, good for you. I don't watch Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is just terrible. Now, most people agree, yes, Rogue One is a good movie. I've seen one guy, he didn't like it, and he said, oh, this movie didn't need to be made. I'm like, well, yeah, no movie needs to be made. What are you talking about? I don't understand how that's a point that you're trying to make here with any kind of serious intent behind it. But whatever. I liked Solo. Now, hold on. Let me explain. As a Star Wars movie, it's not that good. I agree. Star Wars movie, it's not really there. But as a science fiction movie, as a sci-fi movie, it's a lot of fun. It's a good movie. It should have been like The Adventures of Joe Blow in space or something, Alan Quartermain in space. But it's for Star Wars, it was like, ugh, no. And there was some eye roll moments in it. If you consider it a Star Wars movie, there's at least one eye roll moment. Probably more like 4 or 5. But overall, it was a fun movie. And then people like The Mandalorian, I didn't really care for it. It was okay. I haven't watched any of the other series of Star Wars TV shows, I guess is what they call them. What do we got going on here now? We're going to have a woman director. You've probably seen this. It's been all over the internet, right? We have this Charmin Obaid-Chinoy is going to direct the new Star Wars movie. So let's see what this article here from the Daily Beast has to say. Conservatives melt down over feminist Star Wars director. Oh, conservatives, huh? I didn't realize. I think that universal healthcare is something we should probably have. Huh. There's other things that I agree with liberals on. I have yet to like Disney Star Wars, though. I don't like Disney Star Wars. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's over the top. It's overdone. They're introducing all sorts of things that don't make any sense. I'm not exactly conservative. Maybe I am. I don't think so, though. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's see what this article's all about. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who is set to become the first woman and first person of color to direct a Star Wars film, has irked fanboys with a totally innocuous comment. Totally innocuous. Oh, it's totally innocuous. Yeah. You know what comment she's referring to. And if you don't know, we're going to get to it. Don't worry. Now, she's going to be the first to direct a Star Wars film. She's the first woman and first person of color. Nope. Well, you could say that for the Star Wars film, yeah. But if we go to Obi-Wan here, Deborah Chow. She's like a Chinese woman, isn't she? Or half Chinese or something? Who directed the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So, I mean, yeah, it's not a film. If you want to split hairs, it's not a film. What else we got up here? Ahsoka. Ahsoka. Dave Filoni. Steph Green. Steph Green is a girl. Rick somebody. Jennifer Getzinger, that's a girl. Geeta Vasan Patel is a girl. Peter Ramsey's a boy. What about Andor? Oh, Andor. Toby Haynes, I think he's a boy. Ariel Kleiman is a boy. Alonzo's a boy. Benjamin's a boy. Oh, Susanna White. Oh, her name is even White. She's so white, she has it in her name. Oh, I don't know if that's allowed. That might totally negate the fact that she's a woman. Ooh. Janus Metz is a boy. So there have been women involved in Star Wars, but we're forgetting the most important one of all.
Put a chicken in it and make it lame and gay.
Yeah, put a chicken in it and make it lame and gay. Kathleen Kennedy has been in charge of Star Wars for 12 years now. She's not a woman of color, so she doesn't count, right? She's the one who was orchestrating this entire farce. This entire laughably stupid Star Wars that we see these days. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong about the series. Maybe I'm wrong about them. You can take a look and see how good they are. Let's take a look at the article first. The next Star Wars movie isn't set to be released until 2026, but it's already igniting controversy online. Why is that a surprise to anybody? The as yet untitled film is centered on Rey Skywalker. That's all you need to know. Nobody likes Rey. She's a stupid character, and she ruined Star Wars. Just having her character alone, if you fixed all the other problems, just having her character alone and the way that she operates in the films would ruin Star Wars. Red Letter Media, in the review of The Force Awakens, was going on about how, oh, it was so good, you don't have to have any training to use the Force. Except we see training throughout all the other movies. Oh, no, Luke had like a week of training. That's all he had. No, he had more training than that. And he was already an adult and, had enough life experience that he could step back and understand the concepts and then learn faster. Now, you might be like, you're being an apologist for that. Okay, maybe, but explain it however you want to. He learned the Force faster than most people do. Maybe he's the chosen one. Maybe it's like I said, because he was an adult, and maybe you have to start early to learn to control your emotions, because Luke did not have control over his emotions, and often in the books, he turned to the dark side because he didn't have control over his emotions. He didn't have enough training to control and keep from going to the dark side. But what do I know, I just understand what makes a bad movie and what doesn't. The Jedi protagonist, played by Daisy Ridley, she's terrible as the character, and perks up with Rey following the events of 2019's Rise of Skywalker. Plot details are still scarce, but a director has already been named, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, who will become the first woman and first person of color to direct a Star Wars feature film. The way they wrote that, it sounds like they're saying that she's the first person of color to direct a Star Wars feature film, which, I mean, you might consider J.J. Abrams the first person of color to direct a Star Wars feature film. That fact alone would probably be enough to rile up conservatives dubious about a woman-led, woman-directed Star Wars, but Obaid-Chinoy's recent comments about the film have added fuel to the fire. No, this right here, if you can tell a good story, if you can direct a good film, I don't care what you got between your legs. I don't care what color your skin is. I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now, and I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward and shape a story in a galaxy far, far away, she recently told CNN. It's not important at all. Disney hands over a $67 billion Star Wars franchise to Pakistani feminist activist. This is what the problem is. Pakistani feminist activist. That's the problem. A culture that is vastly different from the Western world. Feminism. And then the activism. Those three things together, go, okay, well, this movie's going to be just as bad, if not worse, than anything we've seen so far, as far as the sequel trilogy is concerned. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little video here.
Also the first woman and the first person of color to direct a Star Wars film. It's set to be released in 2026. You can say that the force is strong with this one. Here's Charmin Obaid-Chinoy.
I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
Like I said, Kathleen Kennedy's already been doing that for a long time now, and it hasn't gone well. The Pakistani-born Canadian filmmaker's comments soon spread across social media, where conservative fans accused Disney of ruining Star Wars by going woke. That's already been done. And I'm not a conservative, I wouldn't say. Not really. They ruined Star Wars with The Force Awakens, and I figured that they would. As soon as I heard the news in 2012 that Disney bought Star Wars, I was on the phone with a friend of mine going, they're going to freaking ruin this franchise. It's done, because Disney ruins everything. Everything they get their hands on, They run it into the ground. Right-wing political commentator Matt Walsh further provoked matters by sharing an 8-year-old clip from Tina Brown's annual Woman in the World Summit, where obaid-chinoy appeared alongside Meryl Streep and Ava DuVernay for a panel moderated by Jon Stewart. During the panel, obaid-chinoy said that she enjoys making men uncomfortable with her art if it leads to a call for action. No, that's not what she said. You're lying. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. The director, who had won an Oscar for her 2012 documentary about acid attacks on women in Pakistan, she said it as the crowd laughed and cheered in response. It is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable. And it should make you uncomfortable. And then you get acid thrown in your face? Is that what the hell's wrong with you? Look, nobody in the Western world thinks it's okay. Well, maybe there's some people who are of this persuasion that they think that it's okay to throw acid in the face of women for going to school or wanting to participate more fully in society. Nobody thinks it's okay to throw acid in the face. I mean, I think that women should be in the house taking care of the kids and doing that sort of thing. If a woman wants to get a job, I'm not going to throw acid in her face. I'm not suggest that we throw acid in her face. That is freaking ridiculous. Who would want that? That does nobody any good anywhere. So, I'm sorry. We can all agree. Okay, viewer, go down. I mean, you're not going to. Hey, if you think that it's okay to throw acid in people's faces, go down in the comments and leave a comment. Ridiculous. It's not okay to hurt people. We know this. It's not okay. In sharing the clip from 2015, Matt Walsh wrote on X, here's the feminist director of the next Star Wars film saying that her goal is to make men uncomfortable. This movie is destined to be Disney's biggest flop. Yeah. I'm not going to see it. I didn't pay money for any of Disney Star Wars films. I know a manager of a theater who will let me come in and see the movie for free. So let's go ahead and see the video here, see what she has to say.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken.
But, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable, because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations, that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection. And then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
Yeah, when a woman tells me that I need to change, I'm more likely to double down on my behavior, because men are the ones who are always changing. Men are the ones who are like going, okay, how do I fix this problem? How do I get through this situation? Whereas women are the ones who are going to go cry and be like, you need to change for me. The whole world needs to change for me. I'm not bad. I'm right. Right? I'm always looking at myself in the mirror and going, okay, am I doing right? Am I doing the right thing? Am I succeeding? Is the path that I'm on getting me what I want? If not, how do I get on the path that I need to be on to get me what I want? Women are the ones who want the world to change for them. We see this all the time with feminism. We see this all the time all over my channel. Now the end of the article here. While there's no way for Walsh or anyone else to know whether obaid-chinoy's 2026 film will be a box office hit or not, it appears some Star Wars fans, or so-called fans, have already made up their minds and will presumably be hearing all about it for the next 2+ years. Okay, so I'm one of those so-called fans I'm sure that she's talking about. I am a fan of Star Wars. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Clone Wars movie. Like I said, I even like Rogue One and Solo. I like the Clone Wars series until Disney got hold of it. But that's what Star Wars is. Star Wars is not Disney. Whatever Disney is doing is not Star Wars. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of actual Star Wars. So this movie is going to be terrible. I don't know how bad it's going to be. We got right here. Take a look at Star Wars Episode 7. The Force Awakens is a 7.8. And you might be like, well, Anti-Woke Warrior, you think this movie is terrible. But look, it got a 7.8 on IMDb. And that's the point. But most people will say The Last Jedi was the one that destroyed Star Wars. So if you're one of those people, let's see. Last Jedi got a 6.9, so you can't trust these ratings. They're way too high. If this is the worst Star Wars had to offer, this is still a passing grade, right? Still above the 5-point mark, which is, you would assume, it average. So Yeah, these things are way off. I don't know what The Rise of Skywalker got. Let's see. The Rise of Skywalker. A 6.4, so that was considered even worse. Disney Star Wars is garbage. If you like it, you're allowed to like it. You're allowed to like bad things. It's okay. I like the movie Conan the Barbarian. Even though I can look at it and go, wow, that's not a masterpiece of work. It's really not. But I like it. So, and like I said, I like Solo. And you could be like, yeah, that's just not even worth liking. This movie's going to be terrible. It's going to flop. People are sick of this garbage where they just make up rules and abilities. You can pull a lightsaber out of nowhere. Is that really what happens in The Rise of Skywalker? They establish this new ability of Jedi to pull matter out of anywhere in the universe? That would just change everything. You wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. You could just feed the masses. Economy would collapse overnight. There'd be no need for any of this stuff. Can Jedi heal wounds? Okay, well that makes sense that the Jedi can heal more quickly than the average person. But if you can heal wounds instantaneously or near instantaneously like Wolverine does, that takes all the tension out of the story. There's no way you can be killed. There's no stakes for the main character then. And why is it that if you do have these abilities, that the ruler of the Sith doesn't know about them? Just stupid. And you think it's going to be better with a feminist activist at the helm? No, there's just no way. These people and their insanity, yeah, it's just not going to be good. So we all know this. It's not going to be good because Disney can't do good Star Wars. Anyway, thanks for watching. I got your palate cleanser right here.
Winston?
Excuse me, please, we're poor. Please, we have to buy you food. Please, thank you so much.